Many times, people do not know how to identify that they struggle with pride in their lives, and often they do not know what to do when they struggle with that pride or how to handle that pride in their lives. So today, we show you how to identify signs of pride in a person and how to know if you yourself are arrogant. So all that here today on Faith Unchained. Hello, Unchained family. This is Faith Unchained, teaching you to break the chains that bind you. Now, if you're new to the channel, I want to take this time to welcome each and every one of you. And if this is your very first time visiting our page and you have yet to hit that subscribe button, help us to continue to grow by hitting that subscribe button and clicking on the notification bell so you get to see weekly videos like this one. And really quick, please go and check out last week's video, Pride According to the Bible. The link to that video will be down below in the description for you to go and check out. And before we continue, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Do you know how to spot pride in your lives? Let me know your thoughts down below, and I'll get back to each and every one of you. Alright guys, really quick, if you weren't with us last week, some of the things that we learned from last week, pride is the first sin that was recorded in the Bible. From it, all other sins originated. One of the things that we learned is that the proud are so consumed with themselves that their thoughts are far away from God. Some of the other things that we learned about the proud is that they are so blinded by their pride that they don't think that they need God, and they think that they're better than everyone else because of their education, the way they walk, the way they speak, the way they act, how much money they make, right? Another thing that we learned about pride, right? It's one that stems from self-righteousness and conceit. It is sin. And God hates pride because it serves as a hindrance towards seeking Him and growing closer to Him. The thing is, many of us struggle with pride, and oftentimes we don't even know it. So here are some ways that we can spot pride in our lives. One of the ways that you know you struggle with pride is reacting negatively to constructive criticism. So someone is trying to tell you something that you so desperately need to hear and need to start working on, but you might not at the time care to hear what it is they're saying, and of course what they're saying is making you feel uncomfortable. So in response to what they're saying, even though you need to hear it, you take offense to what they're saying, you start cutting them off and not listening to a word that they have to say, and then you deflect the conversation back at them. This is one of the ways that you know that you struggle with pride. Another sign that you struggle with pride is when you cannot admit you're wrong. So you wronged somebody in some way, you've offended them in some way, and it's hard for you to ask them for forgiveness. So you go on as if nothing happened, or you just simply can't say that you're sorry. That's one of the other ways that you know that you struggle with pride. Another way to know that you struggle with pride is that you're above doing certain tasks. So say you're at work or you're at church, someone comes and asks you, for example, to clean the bathrooms, and you reply that you don't do that because of your position, your title, your education, whatever, right? So one of the things we need to always remember is that Christ came to earth from heaven to serve and to save us as sinners, right? So if Christ can come down and do that, then guess what you can do? You can get off your high horse and go scrub some toilets. and smile while you're doing it. Another way that you can identify pride in your life is that you assume that you already know what someone is trying to teach you, right? So it's really, really tough and hard to place yourself in the shoes of a follower. That takes humility, right? You have to have that ability in order to be able to do that. Because in order to lead, you must first learn how to follow. So when you're unable to place yourself in the shoes of a follower and listen to what the leader is trying to tell you, that's saying to the leader that you're a know-it-all and you're not coachable. Another way that we can identify pride in our lives is, say someone always feels the need to teach someone something, right? So they always feel the need to give unsolicited advice, right? They always want to tell somebody something or showcase their knowledge in hopes that somebody is looking up to them and seeing how awesome it is that they are, right? But realize this, Scripture tells us that knowledge puffs up. In short, that means you got the big head. Another way to identify pride in your life is someone who walks around thinking that they're better than someone who is less fortunate than them. So they end up looking down on those people, whether it's in secret or in public, right? They scold them, right? And be it because they don't have the same education that you have, they don't dress the way you do, they don't act the way you do, they don't speak like you do, right? They're not financially well off like you are. And then these very same proud people, they walk around as if they've accomplished all of this on their own, forgetting that it was God who gave it to them in the first place, forgetting that it was God that placed them in that position in the first place, forgetting that it was God that showed them how to break their chains. So instead of walking around thinking that you're better than everybody else and that you did all of this, right? You need to walk around using what you have to show other people how to break their chains too. Another way to identify pride in your life is someone who flaunts things in front of other people. So, say like your body, right? You want people to see, oh, I look so pretty, I look so beautiful, duck face, oh yeah. Or your education or your accomplishments, whatever. You're flaunting things in front of people because you want that praise and admiration from them. You want them to look up. He's so awesome. Oh my gosh, I wish I could be just like him. And see, the fact of the matter is, what you're doing is, okay, so you're not focused on God and you're not focused on others. You might claim to do something in the name of God, but what you're really doing, yeah, so you're doing all of that just for praise and admiration for yourself, not praise and admiration for Him or what He's done for you. Another way to know that you struggle with pride, someone who is constantly critical of others. So this person has forgotten who it is that showed them how to break the chains that once bound them. This person has forgotten that it was Christ who helped them to get to where they are right now. They've forgotten all of that. And because they've forgotten all of that, they're judging other people harshly. So those other people might not be where that person is right now. So they're harshly judging that person. They've forgotten that person, they've forgotten their own past. They've forgotten that they were once just as guilty as the person that they're so harshly judging right now. They're forgetting that Christ forgave them for their sins because they placed their faith and trust in Him. They're forgetting the grace and mercy that Christ showed to them, saving them from themselves. People, judging others harshly is not something that we need to do. We need to remember the grace and the mercy that God showed to us, because we cannot save ourselves. His Son had to die on the cross for us. And it's through Him and His sacrifice, placing our faith and trust in Him, that makes us pleasing and acceptable to God. Nothing that we've done on our own accord. Never forget how it is that you got to where you are right now. So, one of the other ways that you are able to identify that you struggle with pride is when someone is making excuses for their sins rather than just confessing it. So this person, they constantly make excuses for their sins rather than just simply humbling themselves and confessing their sins to God, right? So I'm going to say this. One of the first steps, right, to Christians Anonymous is to admit that you have a problem. One of the problems that we have: hi, I'm Vaughn, and I'm a sinner. Hi, Vaughn. I would just like to say that I am a wretch. I am wicked, and I am a fool. And I need Jesus. When we're able to admit that we have a problem, then God will start working inside of us to help us to find a solution. And the final way that you can spot pride in your life is someone who has a failure to submit to authority. So whether it's at home, whether it's at work, whether it's at church, this person, they fail to follow whoever is in authority, right? This person is saying that they want to do their own thing rather than follow the person who is the leader, who has the authority, right? So in translation, what this person is actually saying is that they don't need anybody's help to help them to get to where it is that they need to be. So guys, I want you to remember this. It's very important, because I don't care where you are in your life, you didn't get there on your own. There was always somebody there to help you along the way. The importance of having an accountability partner, the importance of being surrounded by fellow believers of Christ, right? So sometimes we get so prideful and so blinded by our own crap that we can't see the light at the end of the tunnel. And somebody has to cave dive in that crap with their light to come find us in the midst of the darkness. Because this person, they understand where it is that we are right now, because they once were where you are. So they know the ins and the outs. They know the pathway. They know how to navigate that tunnel. They know how to bring you out so that you can see the light. It's very important, guys. Remember that. Guys, that's it for today. But before we close, I really want you to think about this question that I'm about to ask you. Do you feel that you struggle with any of these signs mentioned today? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below, and please leave any other questions, comments, or suggestions about today's video or any future video that you might want to see, and I'll do my best to get back to each and every one of you. So here at Faith Unchained, we teach you how to get spiritually fit. But if you're looking to get physically fit, then look no further. Because here at the Nashville Dojo on 13260 Lebanon Road, we make fun and effective workouts tailor-made just for you. Whether it's one-on-one, group, or a boot camp, TriFit is the right fit for you. And if you want to know more about how you can get started, there will be a link down in the description below for you to go and click on our website so you can go online and book an appointment with me today. And guys, really quick reminder, if you haven't already, please go and check out last week's video, Pride According to the Bible. If you like what you saw, share our content, like this video, subscribe to our channel, and click on the notification bell so you get to see videos like this one in the future. Guys, thank you for watching. This is Faith Unchained, teaching you to break the chains that bind you.